Hello, artists and non-artists alike. Welcome to episode 4 of Draw With Me, the series where I answer questions about the art industry while one of my speed arts plays in the background. You can listen to this episode while you're cleaning, studying, folding laundry, or even drawing. Maybe you just want to tune in for the visuals and to see my art process. That's okay too. If this sounds like you, rest assured that I will make an in-depth video about my art process very soon. Maybe even the next video. So let's get started. Since I now use Procreate exclusively, I figured it'd be good to show the first drawing I ever did in Procreate, a betta fish and a jellyfish. This particular piece was made to satisfy two different art challenge prompts. One was the Spooky Spring Art Party prompt called Of the Sea, and the other was for a challenge to draw a betta fish. I decided to interpret this piece as a jellyfish getting spooked by seeing a betta fish holding jelly. A jellyfish would of course be scared of seeing jelly, wondering where it came from. But now for the meat and potatoes of today's video. It is time for a battle. Which is better, Procreate or Adobe Fresco? I'll give my honest opinion on both, along with some facts, and you can decide for yourself which app reigns victorious. Let's start with Adobe Fresco. It was launched in November 2019 and is compatible with iPhones, iPads, certain Windows tablets, and Surface Pros. Check the app's system requirements for more information. Fresco has both pixel and vector brushes, as well as live brushes that mimic traditional watercolor and oil brushes. The app comes with an array of blending tools, erasers, presets, and texture brushes. There's also an animation tool you can use within the free version of the app. Adobe Fresco is free to download but has multiple subscription options if you want premium brushes, a bundle of Adobe apps like Photoshop, and more than the free 5 GB of Creative Cloud storage. The subscription will run you either $9.99 per year for the most basic plan, $79.99 per year for the Fresco Plus Photoshop bundle, or $149.99 per year for the Fresco plus Photoshop plus Adobe Illustrator plus Adobe Express mobile bundle. But back to Fresco itself, the app has no layer limits for projects, meaning that you can have the highest resolution on your artwork and tons of detail without being limited on the amount of layers you can use. The downside of this is that you can easily draw a piece that is too detailed for your device to handle, leading to glitches, app crashes, performance issues, lag, and possible data loss. That's just something that comes with the app. But in general, Adobe Fresco is great if you want to make logos or illustrations in a professional way and have a device that can handle lots of layers. I made my first few art pieces in Adobe Fresco and overall had a good experience except for the performance issues and crashes. It got too much for my iPad mini to handle, so I needed to look for other apps. That led me to Procreate, a digital art app that, unlike Fresco, is iPad exclusive. It launched in 2011 and has since grown to over 30 million users. While Procreate does not have vector or live brushes, it does have blend tools, pixel brushes, downloadable brush packs, and multiple blur options. Based on the RAM capability of your device, you're limited on the amount of layers you can have in your work. For example, if you have a high-resolution canvas, you will have fewer layers to work with than if you stuck with a canvas with fewer pixels. If you have an iPad mini or just an older iPad, you'll have less layers available than someone who uses the latest iPad Pro. Layer limits are imposed to prevent the app crashes and performance problems that typically come with highly detailed drawings in other apps. It's not the worst to deal with, and you can still be very precise and create detailed illustrations within Procreate. Brush packs are, in my opinion, easier to find for Procreate than Adobe Fresco. You can also create your own brushes and use Procreate's Animation Assist tool to bring your characters to life. However, this is a much simpler animation tool than Fresco, and just a fraction of what you would find in the app Procreate Dreams, the separate animation app. But let's talk prices. Procreate has a one-time price of $12.99. Files are stored locally on your device and are not automatically uploaded to the cloud, so you must remember to upload your artwork to an external storage system or cloud frequently to avoid possible data loss if you lose your iPad. So which is better? In my opinion, it's Procreate. The only downsides are the layer limits and the slightly lower resolution that my iPad mini can handle, but that's more of an issue with having an older iPad mini, not a Procreate issue. When it comes to the type of art that I do, children's book illustration, I would say that Procreate is more common for illustrators than Adobe Fresco. For professional artists, PSD files are the industry standard, and since both Procreate and Fresco can export images as PSD files, I'm not really losing anything with Procreate. I feel it allows me to be more creative with my brushes, and the app never crashes. That's the biggest win for me. However, I understand people who prefer Fresco, since I used it for several months before switching to Procreate. With the knowledge from this video, you should be able to tell which app would be best for you and your illustration needs, but keep in mind that there are plenty of other apps out there, and that my experience with an app will not necessarily match yours. Do your research, talk to fellow artists, and make the smart choice for you. For me, that was Procreate, but for you, it might be Adobe Fresco, Clip Studio Paint, Autodesk Sketchbook, or something completely different. That's all for this video. Let me know in the comments which drawing apps you use for your art, and I will see you soon!